FLOSSTUBE, welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and I'm the Lancashire Stitcher. Today is Tuesday the 31st of May 2022 and this is FLOSSTUBE number 46. Welcome if you're new here. This is a channel mainly about cross stitch, but I do include other crafts sometimes, and I also talk about the walks I've been on recently. If you're returning, welcome back. It's lovely to be chatting with you all again, even though I'm later than expected. You may have seen the message that I put on YouTube that I did try to film a video at the hotel on Saturday, but it was rubbish when I watched it back. Basically, I was in the hotel room. There wasn't much space, and it was like I was rushed because I was in between craft sessions, so I was thinking, oh, I'm going to this craft session next, so I seemed to be rushing through, and also I forgotten to take a couple of things with me, so yeah, it was just shocking. So I just thought, right, leave it and do it when you get home. So we only got home at about 6:30 last night, so yeah, I wasn't doing it last night. So here I am today. I'd like to thank people for buying me a coffee on the link below. It does help for me for sending giveaways out, so thank you for that. Right, so let's get started. I've got quite a bit to show you again today, so I'm going to get started, and I've just realised I've not got a board ready, so I'm just going to get one of these envelopes out of the packet to use. My first one I'm going to show you is actually a finish, and it's my travel stitch. It's not been ironed, it's been crammed in a bag all weekend because I took it with me. Make sure it's got the right way, because when I did the video the other day I was showing it and it was completely the wrong way. And there we go. So this is a knitter's sampler by October House Fibre Arts. As I said, it's been creased up in a bag all weekend, so yeah, sorry for the creases, but it's now finished. This was my travel stitch. I stitched on it at the library, and it uses Weeks Dye Works and Gentle Art threads, so it's completely finished. So yeah, happy with that. So that's a knitter's sampler. This is just 32 count antique white Belfast linen. So that's that one. And then my whips. So my first whip, as usual, is Lady of the Flag by Mirabilia. I usually stitch on this on Sundays, although I've not had much chance over the past few weeks. I didn't stitch on it the Sunday just gone because I was away. I didn't have much time to stitch while I was away. I did do some stitching, but I'll show you that in a few minutes. It's just that I wasn't stitching on my big mirrors while I was away because it was a busy weekend. So I'll talk about it more later on in my video. So there's Lady of the Flag again. She's creased up because she's been crammed in my bag all weekend. I've not done much on her. There's just a bit more blue being done on the flag, but that's as much as has been done. So I'll open her out so you can see the fabric properly. So this fabric is 32 count Hurricane Murano Regana by Pole Stitches. So there we go. She usually gets stitched on a Sunday. So that's that one. And then my next one is Royal Holiday by Mirabilia. I usually stitch on this on Wednesdays as part of the USNZ Royal Holiday SAL, along with Amy Globetrotting Stitcher, who's now finished it, Sarah Stitch Addict, who's also finished it, Nancy Duquette, Kate the Scottish Stitcher, and Andreas. So if you'd like to see pictures of the finished ones, I'll put links down below to those people so you can have a look. And again, not been stitched on much. I'll explain why later. But there she is again. She's been crammed in my bag. But as you can see, I've been working on a dress. I've filled in some of the gaps around near her arm, and then I've just carried on with the dress. So there she is. That crease will not be there next time. She will not have been crammed in a bag. I took my big, I have a big knitting bag. I'll show you. it's here. I have this big bag that I use, and I took this. As you can see, there's still quite a bit of stuff in there that I took with me for the weekend, and I took everything I needed to do my video, including my ring light and everything, and it was all just crammed in that bag, so everything got a bit squashed. So yeah, so Royal Holiday. So this fabric is 32 count Dusky Rose Murano Lugana by Pole Stitches. So there we go. She will get a bit more love tomorrow. And then my next one is my Mill Hill Monday piece, which is Bee Gnome, one of the garden gnomes. And I didn't stitch on it yesterday because we'd driven home. It was a 5-hour journey to get home from Devon. So no, I didn't stitch on it yesterday, but that's how much I've got done so far. So yeah, just noticed my nails are dirty. Sorry about that. So yeah, that's Bee Gnome. It's looking really nice now. The bee colours are coming out. So there we go. Bee Gnome. What have I got under my nail? I've just had a chocolatey colour, that's what it is. We've been shopping this morning because we've been away for the weekend, so we went shopping this morning and we got some colours. So sorry, I've got chocolate under my nail. Right, my next whip is Simple Gifts Grace by Praiseworthy Stitches. I'm stitching along with Hazel, and we've got a hashtag of Praiseworthy Stitches Sal. So if you'd like to join in with any Praiseworthy Stitches design, feel free to use the hashtag on Instagram or Facebook, and then we can see your progress. And I'm not up to date with this because I usually do one thread a day, but I've not stitched on it while I've been away, and that's my progress. As you can see, I've now got it in a Q-snap, so I've got a bit more room. It only uses 3 shades of purple, and I'm using the DMC equivalents that it gives on the chart, rather than the I can't remember, the hand dyed. I'm not sure which ones it uses, but yeah, that's my progress so far. Oh. And I have a new start. It's going to be my new travel stitch, and it's I've stitched on it over the weekend. I did have a little time. I did have a little time at night to do a little bit of stitching around. After we'd had the evening meal, our tea, we'd go back to the hotel room for a couple of hours just to rest, and until we went to the entertainment that was on at the hotel at night. And I've started Stitch All the Things by Erica Michaels, and I'm stitching the pillow. I'm thinking I might stitch the strawberry as well, but I'm not sure yet. I'm just stitching the pillow at the moment. Okay. And this uses Weeks Styleworks threads and 1 DMC. So as you can see, I've not done a lot. As I said, I didn't get much time to stitch. I've done that. And this is just 32 count antique white Belfast linen. That's what Grace has been stitched onto. I didn't say that. So looking at that stitch looks a lot lighter, and the things is done in the same colour. That's Weeks Styleworks Battleship, and it's quite dark really, but on the picture it looks really light. So yeah, there we go. So that's Stitch All the Things by Erica Michaels. And that's all my whips. So let's go back to my notes, so I'm keeping up with my notes. Right, so plans are next. So we're on the 31st of May, so tomorrow's the beginning of June. I am stitching on Princess Eliana by Mirabilia as one of my May letters of the month, and I just have another hour, I think, to stitch on it, which I'll do today. So I've not shown it today on my video. I will show it next time. So yeah, I have got that in progress. I didn't take that away with me because I knew I wouldn't be stitching on it. So it's on my Lowry stand downstairs, so I will be stitching on it later on. Okay, so for June we're on the letters N and M. So my letter N is going to be Heirloom Nativity Sampler by the Victoria Sampler. So I started this at the October Mirabilia retreat, and I've not stitched on it since. And I've got a goal of at least 6 hours on this in June. And I'll show you what I've done so far. There we go. That's all I've done so far. This is the call for, I think it's 28 count smoky pearl linen. So it's cashel linen. So that's what I've got done. So there's another 6 hours at least going to be stitched on that next month. And then my letter M is going to be Mermaid Fraktur by Plum Street Samplers. So, yeah. Get my bubble again. This has a goal of finishing the second Mermaid. That's what I've got done so far. Again, it's been crammed in my bag all weekend. So, yeah. So yeah, I'm going to stitch at least the second Mermaid on this for one of my goals for next month. So there we go. This fabric, I think it's a Crafty kitten fabric, but I'm not sure what it is. I can't remember. I'll have to have a look and tell you next time. So that's Mermaid Fraktur by Plum Street Samplers. And they're my plans. So yeah, as well as carrying on with usual stitching. But yeah, they're my letters of the month pieces. Right, let's do the giveaway winner. So last time's giveaway was the 2 Prairie Schooler Santas, and they're going as one giveaway prize, and the winner is Claire Woodland. So congratulations, Claire. If you could email me or message me, links are down below. I shall get them in the post to you as soon as I can. So congratulations. I am having another giveaway at the end of the video, which this is one of the things I forgot to take with me. I hadn't took anything to do with the giveaway away with me. So yeah, I am having another giveaway at the end. So yeah, there we go. Right, stash enhancement. Only one stash enhancement this month. And I've finally managed to get Petal Fairy. So I can actually get started with this. I'm going to have so many Mirabilias on the go. It's unreal. I never used to do this. And I always used to have maybe 1 or 2 at the same time. But I've got like loads at the minute. So yeah, so I'm going to do the purple and pink conversion that I showed you a couple of videos ago. I've got all the threads. There's one metallic that I'll have to look if I've got it. If not, I'll get it. And then there's 2 lots of beads, but otherwise it's just DMC. So I'll be, well, on this one I'll have to look on the conversion, but yeah. So I can actually make a start now, although I'm not sure what fabric I'm going to use for it yet. I'll have to have a look at my fabric, see if I've got any that's suitable. Otherwise I'll have to buy some more fabric too. So yeah. So there we go, that's my stash enhancement. And then I also got some lovely mail. I got a lovely little card from Cheryl Adams in San Diego in the USA. She won one of my giveaways a while ago. I think it was Baby Boat. She wrote it in the card. Yes, she won the Baby Boat by Mirabilia. And she sent me this lovely card with sparkly, lovely colours on it. So yeah, thank you so much. I have a notice board on the wall behind where you are. And I put things like this that I get just to cheer me up on days that I'm not feeling 100%. So yeah, I have a few things from people who've been customers and different bits and pieces that I just pin up, and it just reminds me how kind some people are. So thank you very much for that. Really made my day, that. Thank you. So let's have a look what's next. Walks. Okay, walks. I've done 3 walks in the last 2 weeks. It's not a lot, I know, but I'll explain why later. I've done 2 recce's. Now a recce is where I go and do a walk that I'm planning on leading for a group. So you're checking that it's suitable, you're checking for any risks, if there's anything that people may struggle with, You need to check how many stiles there are to climb over, how many gates, how many hills, things like that. So you need to do a recce of a walk just to make sure you've got it in your head, and to make sure it's appropriate for the group you're taking out. So the first one I did was a walk that I'm going to do for my local Ramblers group, and it's a walk that goes through a village called Tockles, and then it goes through part of Blackburn, and then through a village called Abbey Village, and then back round again. So it's 8.5 miles. There are a couple of hills in it, but I like, I'm not going to say I like hills. I don't like hills, but I don't like flat walks. Flat walks tend to be boring. If you've got hills, you get views, you get fantastic views usually, and it's that bit of a challenge on the walk. So yeah, so I did that with a friend the other week, and it was fine. I'm going to do it again in a week or two just to make sure we've got the route right, because my friend who comes with me, she's usually my back marker. The back marker makes sure everybody's in front of them, so you're not leaving anybody behind. So yeah, so we did that, and that was a nice walk. I'll have put pictures up from it. When I actually lead the walks, I don't tend to take as many pictures because you're having to think about the people you're responsible for, basically. So that was that one. And then last weekend, not the weekend just gone, the one before, my husband and I went down to Conwy, which is in North Wales, to recce a walk that I'm going to lead for the coach rambles in June. Not next weekend, the weekend after is when we're doing it. I told them that I'd happily lead walks for them, and I'm starting off with the easiest walk of the group for Conwy. And so my husband and I went down, and we stayed overnight. We had a nice night in a hotel, so we could actually look around as well. And the walk goes along past the smallest house in Britain. I'll have put a picture up of it, which is on the quayside, and then we climb part way up the hill. There's a hill in Conwy called Conwy Mountain, and it's not a mountain, it's a hill, but it's called Conwy Mountain. And the other walks are actually going all the way up the mountain to the summit, but we're not. My group won't be doing. We're going like halfway up, but it's still a bit of a climb. But then we walked down through a nature reserve. I didn't see anything nature apart from plants and things. I didn't see any animals while we walked through the nature reserve. And then you walk down through the nature reserve and then through a few fields back towards Conwy. So that's just a 6-mile walk. So yeah, so that was a really nice walk. I've put pictures up again. There were some gorgeous views. It was it was quite warm that day that we went to Conwy, so it was a nice day. I'm hoping the weather's like that when we go on the coach, but we'll have to see. So yeah, that was good. And then the other walk I've done is called Adlington Circular. Basically, there's a town called Adlington over towards Chorley, that way, west from here. And there's a walk that goes all the way around. It was just short of 6 miles, that one. That was a nice walk. We walked along the canal quite a bit and through fields. So yeah, that was a lovely walk. So yeah, they're the walks I've done. So yeah. The other thing to do with my walks is I got my medal. So for the Land's End John O'Groats challenge that I did. So there we go, that's the medal. 1,084 miles. Virtual challenge. So I didn't actually do Land's End to John O'Groats, it was virtual. I walked 1,084 miles to get this medal. So yeah, there we go. It's got the Union Jack on it, and yeah, really happy with that medal. So yeah, I'll get another medal for doing the 1,000 miles in the year. So yeah, I'm really happy with that medal. I'll have to work out where I'm going to put it. That might go on my board actually. So yeah, So, what's next? Let's have a look. Life update. Okay, let's start with my leg. Oh, good grief. Right, when I did the walk in Adlington last week, no, it was when we went to Conway to start with last weekend, my leg was really sore and I thought I had a knot in my calf muscle because I get knots quite a bit. You know, and you just massage them out, you know, it just causes, it's like nerve pain, like you've got a trapped nerve. And you can feel a lump in your muscle and you just have to massage it quite hard to get it out. And on Sunday when we went to Conway, it felt like that. So I managed to do the walk. It was quite sore, but managed it. It was okay. And then it was sore, carried on being sore, and I tried massaging it out, but nothing was happening. So I thought, you know, I don't know what's going on here. And then on the Tuesday that I was doing the Adlington circular walk, I noticed that my ankle had swollen up a bit. And I just thought, right, okay, I'll keep an eye on that. So when I did the walk, I didn't tie my boots as closely as I normally do. You know, they're not tight. These are close fitting because they're there to support your ankles. Anyway, so I did the walk and I could still feel it. You know, I was thinking, you know, something, this knot's really bothering me. But then on Tuesday night, I noticed I got a bit of bruising on the inside ankle of that leg. So, and my ankle had really swollen up and my calf had swollen up slightly as well. And I just thought, right, well, we'll see how it is, carry on. Anyway, so then on Wednesday, it was still swollen and it was still sore and the bruising had got worse. So when my husband came home from work on Wednesday night, I phoned 111, which in the UK, it's like, you're supposed to phone 111 to find out what you should do next, rather than just turn up at A&E or whatever. So I phoned 111 and they got a medical practitioner to ring me, and she basically said she wanted me to go up to urgent care, which is basically at the accident and emergency department, but it's urgent care instead of an accident and emergency. And she gave me a time to go up. She was thinking, she said she couldn't rule out DVT, deep vein thrombosis. So anyway, so we went up to the urgent care for the time that she'd given me, and then they gave me an appointment of 9 o'clock at night, that same night. So basically, my husband dropped me off because they said it's just you that can come in, not your husband. So my husband dropped me off at just before 9 o'clock, and I went in. I said I'd let him know when things were sorted, and it took until 3 AM to get sorted, as much as they'd sorted. The doctor did a blood test. He said they could tell whether I'd got a blood clot from a blood test. So after I'd seen the doctor, he said, I'll just do the blood forms, go and sit in the waiting room, and then you'll get called in for the blood test. So I said, right, okay. Thinking, oh, another 20 minutes or so, and sorted. It took an hour and a half to get the blood test. And then I had to wait 2 hours to get the results of the blood test. And the doctor came to the waiting room and he said, you've definitely got a blood clot. And I said, oh, okay then, right. And he said, right, I'm going to give you some blood thinners and you'll get a phone call to arrange a scan. I went, okay. And that was as much as he told me. Didn't tell me to rest or anything. You know, this was last Wednesday when I was going away on Friday. So I'm thinking, okay, knowing that DVT is caused by sitting down for long periods of time, like on long journeys, or, you know, different reasons. And I'm there thinking, well, I've not been sat for so long and, you know, I don't know. And knowing that I'd got a 5-hour car journey coming up on Friday. Anyway, so then on Thursday morning, I had a phone call asking me to go for a scan that evening. Not at the hospital, it was at a surgery, a doctor's surgery. So I said, right, okay. So my husband and I went to the surgery Thursday night, and the lady clinician told me that the blood test that they'd done is more of an indicator that you've not got a blood clot than that you have, because the blood test can, the blood, it was a D-dimer test, if you know anything about that. whatever it looks for can be caused by various different things, and not necessarily a blood clot. And it's if the levels are low, it's more, it can tell you, you know, you've definitely not got a blood clot, but it doesn't mean that you definitely have. And I said, well, that's, the guy at the hospital said, oh yeah, you've definitely got a blood clot. So so I relaxed a bit then, because it was like, right, so I'm not suddenly going to drop dead. So okay. So anyway, so then I had the scan, and the guy who did the scan said, oh, can't find a blood clot, there's no blood clot. Right, okay. So the clinician told me that she was going to write to the doctor, suggesting that I have a different sort of imaging test to see if they can find out what's causing the elevated levels of whatever D-dimer tests looks for. And I've not heard anything back yet. We're now on Tuesday, and I had the scan on Thursday. And I know I looked on the medical app that you can go on to look at your records, and I know they had the form from the 111 call has only just gone on there, so the doctors haven't heard anything yet. So I'm waiting to see what happens with that. My leg is still swollen. I didn't, the clinician told me to stop taking the blood thinners. She said, you don't need them, so don't take them. I'd only taken one anyway, so it was fine. But my leg is still swollen. My ankle's still swollen. I've still got bruising. A few more bruises have turned up. I don't know whether that's because I took one blood thinner, but I don't know. But I've got a couple more bruises. So I'm still not walking. I'm hoping to walk at the weekend, but it all depends on what happens and how I feel. But yeah, I'll just have to see what happens. So yeah. Anyway, so then on Friday we went down to Devon, to the hotel. We stopped several times so we could walk around, so I wasn't sat in the car for 5 solid hours. So that helped, even though my ankle was really badly swollen by the time we got there. We ended up going to a place called Tavistock first, which is further down than the hotel. Because I realised when I was in the car that I hadn't took any knitting with me. Usually when we go anywhere like that, I'll take some knitting to do in the car while the husband's driving. And I hadn't took my blanket with me because I just thought, oh, I don't need to take that. I've not done much on it anyway, so it doesn't matter if I don't show it in my video. I'm not thinking anything about being in the car. So my husband said, well, if you look for a wool shop, we'll go and get you some wool. And I said, well, I'll need needles as well. And he said, yeah, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, so I found one in Tavistock. So I went to this shop in Tavistock, and I can't remember for the life of me what it's called right now. I did have it written down, but I've not put it on my notes. So I'll put it at the bottom of the screen. And it was a lovely little shop. They sold cross-stitch things, but I didn't look at them. I thought, no, don't get tempted by the cross stitch. I've got enough. Like I said, I took loads of cross stitch stuff with me, so I didn't need any. Anyway, so I got a knitting thing, which I'll show you after I've talked about this. I bought a pattern for a scarf and a ball of yarn and some needles, so I could do some knitting. The weekend itself was, we loved it. I did 8 different crafts in 2 days. My husband went playing golf. Hello. My husband went playing golf on 2 days. So it was brilliant. We got breakfast, lunch and dinner every night, Saturday and Sunday. We got dinner on Friday night. And then we got breakfast on Monday morning. Lots to choose from food wise. And then the activities, it was unreal, the amount of activities that you could do. Again, like golf, my husband had to go to the other there was 2 hotels in the group, and he had to go to the other hotel to do golf. But then the hotel that we stayed at, there was lots of crafts. There was a swimming pool. There was lots of sports, like they had tennis, they had football, shooting, all sorts of things. There was a spa, so you'd never get bored there. There was so much to do. Anyway, and there was also guided walks that I was hoping to go on, but obviously I couldn't because I had to rest my leg. So yeah, brilliant. So basically I signed up for 8 crafts, and I brought the things that I've made to show you. So I did 2 resin art sessions. So this is one, I'm not sure if you can see it. This was a Northern Lights session. So this was my Northern Lights picture. There's a bit of glitter on there as well, but I'm not sure if you can see that. So that's my Northern Lights. And then I did this one, which is a seascape. So yeah, really nice thing. So it's not actually sand, this, it looks like sand, but it's like a powder. Oh, it was sand. Yeah, we did put sand in there, so there is sand. These are powders, these 2 colours, and then these were like ink type things, paints, that you put in the resin. And then the white is a paint as well. And then you use like a hot air blower to get the effects. So yeah, that's that one. And then let's do these little things. I did a silver clay session and I made a little necklace. So I'm not sure if you can see that. Basically it's like a clay, but it's 99.9% silver powder. And then you shape it, you roll it out, and you press a template on, a stamp, so you get the design on it, and then you cut it out using a cutter, and then you dry it out on a hot plate, and then it goes in the kiln for 10 minutes, and then it comes out white, but then you brush it with a wire brush, and it comes out silver. So yeah, really like that. And then obviously you get a chain to put it on. And then the other things I did, little things, with some enameling. So I'm not sure if you'll be able to see all the colours on this. This is a leaf, and I used 3 different colour powders to make it look like an autumn leaf. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's 3 different colours on that. Basically it's just glass powder that you put on, and then it goes in the kiln for a minute to melt the glass powder. And it comes out like that. So yeah, I'm not sure if you can see the colours without the glare. That might be better. That was better, isn't it? Yeah. So, and then I've got this one as well. I did 2 enameling. So this is a little seahorse that I did, where you use little bits, little chips of glass, coloured glass, and you get the different effect. So that's that one. And then let's do these ones next. I did a stained glass copper foil, and I made this heart. Of course I picked purple. So basically you were soldering using to do this around the edge and join the pieces together. So that's that one. And then I did some bunting. It was supposed to be a Jubilee bunting, but yeah, the lady gave you the choice of Jubilee bunting or pick any fabric from these boxes. So of course everybody who went on the session picked different fabrics. So that's what I did. I did bees and a mustard colour. So yeah, like, so you got like 8 different triangles. So yeah, that's my bunting. And then I did some silk painting. I love this. I thought this was so therapeutic. Where's my board gone? I've put it down somewhere. There it is. Let's put that in front of it so you can see. There we go. That's my silk painting. This was so therapeutic. Yeah, very nice. There we go. And then the last session I did was pyrography, which is wood burning. And I made this. It's a money box. And I did that for my grandchildren. And then I wrote that on the back. So yeah, of course it needs like maybe staining and varnishing, but yeah, that's it. So that's all the crafts things I did at the weekend. And there were so many other crafts. They did mosaics, they did what else did they do? They did porcelain painting. There was all sorts, and you know, you couldn't fit all of it in because there was certain time slots, so there'd be a couple of crafts on at the same time that you could do. There was one, it was called Teddy Creations, and I thought, oh, I'd love to go and make a teddy bear, but it wasn't actually making a teddy bear. It was like Build-A-Bear, where you just basically stuff the teddy. So yeah, it was more for children that. So, but and I hadn't done it because I think it was on at the same time as the stained glass, and I definitely wanted to do the stained glass. And then when people were coming out showing me the teddy bears, I thought, well, you've not made them teddy bears in an hour and a half. And somebody said, oh no, it was just stuffing it, like Build-A-Bear, but without the machine. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't do that one. So yeah, but yeah, there was so much going on. It was unreal, and we've already made a list of what things that we want to do when we go again. So because we said we'll probably go again next year. My husband played golf, but he also did shooting. He did some rifle shooting. So yeah, he was quite happy with that. So yeah, it was a lovely weekend. I can't recommend them enough. They were called the Manor and Ashbury Resort in Oakhampton in Devon. I'll put a link down below for anybody who's interested. But yeah, definitely child friendly as well. There's lots of activities for children. There's a soft play area and various other things for children. There's crazy golf. So yeah, all sorts of things going on. So yeah, definitely will be going back again. So right, what's next? Giveaway. No, I've not. It's the knitting next. Knitting's next. So first one I'm going to show you is my blanket. So it's this pattern, this blanket that I've shown you a few times, and as I said before, I've not done much on it. I've been teaching people how to crochet. So I don't know if you can see, I've finished the diagonal line bit, and I've started on the next section. So that's my blanket for anybody who's not seen it. There we go. And this is using Hayfield Baby Chunky yarn. So that's that one. And then the scarf that I started over the weekend. So as I said, we bought this from the shop in, was it Soft Touch Needlecrafts? I think it was Soft Touch. I've put it on earlier on anyway. So it's this pattern. It's using Charm lace weight yarn. It's this colourway, but then I'm doing this scarf. I did want to do this one, but you needed circular needles, and I don't do circular needles. And then you had to cast on nearly 400 stitches, so it was like, no, I'm not going to do that one. I'll do either this one or this one. And then I thought, well, that one's got a massive section of stocking stitch, so I'll probably get bored of it, where this is just a repeat of the pattern all the way. So yeah, so I'm doing that one. So this is the yarn that I'm using. There we go. Charm lace weight by Stylecraft. There's actually a pattern on the back of the label for anybody who wanted to do that. And then let's get it the right way. It's that way. So this is what I've done so far. So you can see I've got the diamonds appearing in the pattern. So yeah, so while I was at the hotel, I just started it because there's no way I can cast on in the car. So I just started it and then started a little bit of the pattern, and then yesterday on the way home I did the rest. So yeah, and of course it's purple in there. There's purple. So yeah, so that's the scarf. Whether it'll get knitted on, although I'll probably make it my knitting for the library when I finish the blanket. But yeah, I've got so many scarves that I've started when I've gone somewhere, and then this shoved in the cupboard. But yeah, yeah. Like I say, my husband offered to buy it, so it was like, yeah, and then I've got something to do in the car on the way home. So yeah, there we go. That's my knitting. Right, so giveaway. So this time I'm going to give away this. You may remember I finished it last time. I made this Upright Berry, and it's Jingleberry by Erica Michaels. So let's have the word berry, B-E-R-R-Y, berry. Comment before. Now I've not looked when my next video is, and I'm still on May on my calendar, so it's going to be around, let me think, 6th is Monday, 7th, 8th, 9th. It's going to be the 11th probably, because I know I'm on the coach rumble on the 12th. So less than 2 weeks. But yeah, we'll keep to the routine. So please comment before the 11th of June with the word berry, if you'd like to win this, and then I'll draw a name like I did for the one today. Okay, so that's Jingleberry by Erica Michaels. It's got patterns for, it's got the pattern for the berry, I've just dropped the page, and it's also got the template for cutting out the shape and instructions for finishing, and either the upright or the normal strawberry. So there you go, so that's that one, so the word berry. And I think that's about it, considering I've been going for 40 minutes. So yeah, I think that's about it for today. Like I said, I did have a lot to show today. So thank you for all your comments. I do read every single one of them. I love that, reading them. They do cheer me up sometimes. So yeah, so happy stitching. Have a good less than 2 weeks. Take care of yourselves and those you love. Be kind as always, and bye for now.